So, I have talked about this Amazon God of War series before, um, but I'm just going to reiterate that this series could either go two ways. It's either going to be a great series, or this could end up being a complete disaster. I mean, come on, Amazon is very hit or miss, mostly miss. But what I would like to say is, as a compliment, is the casting for live action Kratos. Ryan Hurst, who previously played Thor in the games, I think is great casting. I'm sure he's going to do a great job, and it's good that they are hiring someone who's familiar with the source material and was part of the source material. However, there's a lot of red flags still for this series, and even with having someone familiar with the games, like we all know what happened with Henry Cavill in The Witcher Netflix series, but I digress. What I want to speak about is that I still think it's very, very odd, and it's very... I don't understand why they are starting with the Norse games. Like, for this series to work, of course, the backstory of Kratos originally from the Greek mythology world. The original games were set in Greek mythology, whereas the recent two games are set in Norse mythology. And the fact that if you're making this series and people who haven't played the games don't know the backstory of him in the Greek saga of games, they are not going to understand the impact that the story of the newer games has being translated on television. It's just odd that you just start out with the Norse games, even though they are supposed to be later in the story. And it doesn't help that the showrunner, despite that the showrunner has had experience on good shows like Star Trek and everything like that, the fact that he is too lazy to play the actual games is just complete stupidity. Like, you need to actually have fourth-hand knowledge of the games. And listen, I understand that just because someone hasn't played the games doesn't mean they can't be accurate to the source material, but it's just not a really good sign that you have someone running the show like that. And like I said, this is Amazon. There is a possibility that they're going to do unnecessary race swaps, do all this and that for other characters, and it's just because you get the Kratos right, you could still F this series up. What do you guys think of this upcoming God of War series coming to Amazon? Let me know down in the comments.